We've been. Okay, I want you to understand, okay, we're going to go over topic 6.6. Now, like I said, the earlier topic, okay, of 6.4, okay, was about the basics of division with whole numbers. This is going to be division of fractions by fractions. What I want you to remember is the following, okay? Remember to pre-simplify. That's that crisscross applesauce stuff that I keep saying to you. If you pre-simplify, your life is going to be much easier. Aurora, what's the matter?
I threw up in the bathroom.
Okay, then I will sign you a pass to go to the nurse. Thank you. Okay. And okay. There you go. Yep. Now, the next thing that I want you to remember is that it means that you need to look for numbers that get along, okay? Numbers that we talked about yesterday through division and multiplication, whether they're prime numbers, whether they have a common factor, a GCF, okay? The same thing we talked about yesterday. That's what that crisscross applesauce means. The other thing that it means is that you need to use the greatest common factor. That was from topic 6.1. Okay, so it's something that we've covered. Not only that, I had a parent ask me today in an email about greatest common factors. That is a 5th grade standard from last year. So you learned it last year in 5th grade because General McLean teaches the 5th grade standards. It's not a new Common Core standard. It's an old standard that you learned. Okay? So we've got to apply that. Now, what it looks like is this. If I give you these two fractions, are there compatible numbers? Dana, are there numbers that get along in there? Which two numbers would you pair up first?
12.
No, you wouldn't 12. No, remember we're doing crisscross, Dana. That's why we focus instead of looking at the floor. Ben?
3 and 6?
We do 3 and 6. Yep, 3 and 6 definitely work, don't they? The greatest common factor for 3 and 6 is what? 3. Very good, Abram. So we would then divide 6 by 3 and replace 6 to make it 2. We divide 3 by 3 and we replace it with 1. Now, are we done pre-simplifying?
No.
What would we do next? What would we do next? Ben?
Pre-simplify 12 and 2.
Very good. We would pre-simplify 12 and 2. What's the greatest common factor for 2 and 12? Scott? 2. Very good.
1 second.
Okay, yeah, it would be 2. So you would have 1 and you would have 6. Okay? Yeah, I'll diamond data. Okay, now, all right, so anyways, now we could go ahead and multiply. We could do 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 6 is 6. Now, does that solve our problem of simplifying, though? Can 2, 6 be simplified even further, though?
Yes.
It can it? Okay. So in this case, it's a pretty good example because now we can divide that by 2 and take it even down lower, and we get 1/3. So that's what we're striving for in 6th grade. Sometimes crisscross applesauce will work, and sometimes you'll have to re-simplify it another time. Okay? Yes, sir. We're gonna get to that. If you don't know if you can simplify, we'll talk about that. We're gonna get to that. That's part of the developing skills. Also, remember to simplify your answers. Let's look at this one. Write this problem down on your board. 3 divided by 6 times. Okay? 3 divided by 6 times. Now, when we set it up, you can follow along with me. 3 becomes 3 over 1. Okay? Division becomes multiplication, and we create the reciprocal of 9 over 6. Okay, are you leaving the room? Okay. Just go back around the back. Okay, when we come through a room, we don't want to cross in the front of the room, okay? All right, now we have to divide. We can cross simplify, right? Okay, so that means that 3 can be simplified down into 3/6. Okay, it can be simplified. 3 becomes 1. 6 is divided by 3, and you end up with 2. Now, 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. What do we do with 9 halves? What do we do with 9 halves now? It's an improper fraction, so we have to we have to divide 9 by 2. Now, some of you can do this in your head, can't you? 2 goes into 9, a total of 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtracting, you have 1. Which is the whole number for our mixed number? Eric? 4 is the whole number. Good job. Our divisor is going to remain what at this point? 2. And then our remainder becomes the what? Numerator. Very good. And there's your answer. So that's what we mean when we simplify our answers. And we talked about this on our homework. We went over it. We went over it yesterday. We went over it in our homework and now we went over it again today. All right, here's what I'd like you to do. Aiden? What?
You just confused me.
Well, I'm sorry I confused you, but that's part of learning, okay? That's part of learning.
Would 3/6 be simplified to 1/2? I did the other one.
You could simplify 3 and 6. That comes down to 1/6, but there's no 3/6 in this problem. Okay, you 3 and 6, not 3/6. 3 and 6. Aiden?
You said instead of denominator, you said divisor.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Now, open your math book to page, I believe it is 160. Yes, question, Lexi? Yes, you may. Fine. Okay, now, here we go. It talks about on 160, it says, how can you find the quotient of 2 fractions? Andrew has 3/4 of a gallon of lemonade. He wants to pour it into a 1/6 gallon container. How many containers can he fill? Well, in this situation, you're taking what he has in the jar and you're going to divide it into smaller containers. the smaller containers each hold a sixth of a gallon. They each hold a sixth of a gallon. So our problem actually is what? Our problem is actually what? What are we doing with our problem here? Ben?
We are doing 3/4 divided by 1/6.
Yeah, we are doing 3/4 divided by 1/6. So in other words, what operation can you use to solve this problem? We use division, because we need to find out how many 1/6 gallons can be poured from a bottle holding 3/4 of a gallon. That's all we need to do, okay? So, again, on our board, we're going to set up our problem right here like this. 3/4 divided by 1/6. 3/4 divided by 1/6. Now, some of you are looking at what the book example has right here. Okay? That is just another way of doing it. So right now, I would like you to watch how we do this. Okay? And you can do it as long as I do it. 3/4 is the dividend. Do we change it at all?
No.
No. So we're going to write 3/4 as our dividend. The division symbol, do we change it?
Yes.
What do we change it to? Katie?
Multiplication.
Yeah, multiplication. What do we do with 1/6? Robin?
We change 1/6 to 6/1.
We change it to the reciprocal of 6/1. Now, is there any of that cross-canceling that we can do? Look carefully. Look both ways for numbers that get along. Elena? Yeah, 6 and 4 certainly get along. 6 and 4 certainly get along, don't they? What would they simplify? What would we divide both 4 and 6 by?
2.
Very good, RJ. We divide them both by 2. So in other words, 6 and 4 can both be divided by 2. 2 represents the what for 6 and 4, Haley? Yeah, the greatest common factor. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. The factors of 4 are 1 and 4. So when we look, 1, 2, and 4, sorry about that. When we look for the greatest common factor, we see it's 2. So we divide. So our new fractions would then be, cross out the 6, it becomes what? 3. Cross out the 4, it becomes what, Victoria? 2. So now we can multiply. 3 times 3 is what? 9. What is 2 times 9, or 2 times 1? 2. Now, what's wrong with having 9 over 2? What's wrong with Aiden Boyski? It's a mixed number, isn't it? I like the way she said it. So, Caden, what do we do with 9 over 2 then?
Make it a mixed number.
And how do we do that?
You divide 9 by 2, and then you take the remainder and put it over 2.
You know this. You see? You just told me. You just told me that you know this. You understand this. It just gets a little confusing when we see it going so fast, huh? You know this. 2 over, we divide. It goes in 4 times. That's 8. And we had that remainder of 1. So we know that it'll be 4 with a remainder of 1 over 2. So we get 4 1/2 1/6 containers. Then,
Didn't we just do it 9 divided by 2? Like before we actually did it.
yeah, we could have. Yeah, that could have been. We could have done that. All right. And so you can see that that gives us our. And look over here. They say in this next step, they show everything that we just did, don't they? They show how they came up with the 3 and the 2, they showed how they got 9 over 2, and then they showed what Caden told us to do, convert it into a mixed number. Yes, Avery? What do you mean, like? Yes, it's the exact same thing as 6-4. This is, and that's why I'm moving you right up to 6, because it's the same thing. We just are basically practicing new skills. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do. Erase your board. Erase your boards. And we're going to take a look at a couple of them. Let's have you do number 1. 3/4 divided by 2/3. And if you have any questions, raise your hand. You can even talk to the person beside you. What are you doing, Colin?
I know I have a marker, but I just can't find it.
Look at how you want to jump to your aid. It's 2 wonderful girls who get all the help. I need to touch the plastic. Okay, let's go. Get that. That's it, Dana. Okay. 3 and 4, good. Multiply and flip flop. See if anything goes along. And multiply. Good. Trust yourself. Good job there, Ken. Good job. Okay, that's it. Now what do you do next?
Wait, you can't cross the line.
No, you can't, so what do you do? Okay, now what do you do? Alright, are you gonna do? See, nice. See you guys, I'm walking around. Okay, count of 3. How many people are done? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Count of 3, I want you to say your answer all at once. 1, 2, 3.
1 and 1.
How many people got 1 and 1A?
1 and 1.
1 and 1/8. Yeah, it may have come out goofy. Guess what? Look at me. Look at me. It's important that you know you are doing a great job with this. It's important that you be told that. Okay, again, I almost don't have to go over it, but I will. So I'm going to say that this is going, do I ever flip-flop these?
No.
No. Do I change division to what? Tell me, Emmett. What do I change 2/3 to, Emmett? Very good. Is there any crisscrossing nonsense? No. So I multiply and I get 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. Now, if you're in 7th grade and 8th grade, they will probably say that's okay, but we're in 6th grade, so what do we do, Ken?
We divide.
And we create a what, Dana? What's it called? What's it called? Mixed number. So 8 into 9 one time, 1 remainder, you get that. Question,
Do
Nate.
you ever have to do crisscrossing, or do you just do it like you just did?
You do have to do crisscrossing sometimes. You can do it like this anytime, but then you might have to simplify more over here. All right, here we go. Let's try another one. Pick for me. I want you to pick number, let's do number 2. Everybody do number 2. And again, if you have questions and you're not sure, raise your hand as I'm walking around looking. I have 3 different answers from 3 different people. But there can only be one. I have a lot more of the same answers over here. Okay, board's up. 1, 2, 3. Show me. What do you got there? Okay, board's down. Let's take a look. All right, you guys ready? Do I change 3 12s anyway?
No.
No, I'm going to keep 3 12s, 3 12s. Change to multiplication, and I do the flip-flop. Now, do I have compatible numbers?
Yes.
Yes, Bailey, what are the compatible numbers? 12 and 8 are compatible. Take a look at this. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. What's the GCF? What's the GCF? Victoria? GCF is 4. So, if I divide 8 by 4, I get 2. If I divide 12 by 4, I get 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. 3 times 1 is 3. And let me, if I change that to a mixed number or whole number, what do I get? Caden?
2.
2. Okay.
Oh wow. I got it right.
Now, hands down and focus up here. Aiden and Ryan. Okay. I need quiet so I can entertain some questions. Question, Kate.
I didn't cross simplify it and I still got the same answer.
That, you know what, it is, if you don't cross simplify, and it's going to give you the same answer, okay? Because 3 times 8 is 24, and 12 times 1 is 12. 12 is how much of 24? Lexi? Half. 12 is half of that. So yes, it does work, kids. You can get the same results. 12 goes into 24 the same amount of times it goes into. So you're going to get the same results. Okay? That's acceptable. Eric?
Is it alright if I simplify 6/3 to 2 first?
That's fine. And then you eventually get 2 first, then it gets down to just a whole number 2. Yeah, that's fine. And you guys, alright, the reason that I'm taking the time to do this with you is because this topic, Elena, they take these skills every single day. We'll keep practicing these same types of skills. They do a very good job in our book of not complicating us by switching things a whole lot. Okay, so we'll fine tune them a lot. Okay, erase your board, put your board and your book away.